Welcome to another IoT intro video. I'm your host Ulno, and today we will look at using a single RGB LED in IoTempower. We have here the LED, and as you see, we wire it with 3 resistors to 3 GPIO ports, and this LED needs a high signal on the cathode, so it's actually wired here into 3 volt into the cathode of the LED, which is the longest leg of this particular LED. How do we use this in IoTempower? So first we have to check that we are actually in the correct network. And this is the Raspberry Pi that you have seen here before that we are connected to. And this is the web page on the IoT gateway. And so let's check out the commands and see if we find something with RGB LED. And oh yeah, here is something with an RGB single command. So, and you see here, it takes a name, then it takes the red pin, the green pin, and then the blue pin. And we are connected at the moment to D5, D6, and D7. And then also this invert is for actually if the cathode is wired to ground or 3 volts. And so you can actually say true here. By default, this is false. So we have to remember to put a true there. So let's take this example, switch out the ports. I'm copying this here. Control-C, and then another gateway IoT.net, and here we have to go into our system example configuration folder. Then we need a new node. We're creating this here, creating a new node. We rename the node into RGB tester. We go into RGB tester, this file. It's in here, move all this stuff, get a clean file. We can call it RGB1, but here we have to put a D5, 6, 7, and then we have a true for showing that this is inverted. So, and now we just have to flash it. So the device is connected to our Raspberry Pi. So we do the advanced. The first time we have to initialize serial. Let's do that. Now we are flashing it. Successfully flashing, then it boots, and you see the LED is actually turning black. So if it would be turning white now, it would mean that we probably forgot to invert the signal. So let's now do some testing. For this, logged into the IoT gateway here, and we can use, we need to first navigate to our folder. This is IoT Systems, Demo 1, RGB Tester. And now we can do an MQTT send. We should probably look up in the manual where. You can actually see here, it has an RGB subtopic, and then we have to set and kind of send a color there. So let's kind of go back to an MQTT send, called it RGB1, RGB subtopic, set. And let's try to see what happens if we set it to white. And you see actually here the LED showing up nicely bright in white. So let's now test all the colors if we did wire that up correctly. So you see actually, oh, red seems to be turning blue. Okay, so let's check green. Green is actually green. Okay, RG blue. And blue is probably red. Yes, so we have to switch blue and red. So let's do that quickly. Go here and edit that. I didn't pay attention to the order how we wired things, so we have to switch these two and deploy that again. F2, deploy, and here we go. So even if you haven't paid attention with the wiring, here's the point where you can try to fix that, or you can of course replug the wires. And deploy, and let's test the colors again. See, now it has rebooted, star is red, and yeah, it turns red. And blue is blue, and green was correct before too. And let's try something combined, like yellow. Yeah, and that works too. And let's turn it black again to be off. Okay, that works. You can also send some kind of half values here, so you can do something like a really light red as a hex value. So, let's see. Yeah, it's still very bright on the movie. Let's do it even lighter. Let's do 0, 1. See, now it's a very light red that we can have here. So there are 255 or 256 values per color. So of course it would be nice now if we can set these colors quickly, and who can help us here? Node-RED. So let's now switch to Node-RED. Let's quickly copy this topic so that we can use that in Node-RED. and open our Node-RED. It's just admin and IoTempower. So let's make a new flow. Let's take here a color picker and make sure that this one is somewhere on some page. Let's give it a label, LED color, and this all just it sends out hex values. This is exactly what we want. Now we can basically say if we want to send continuous values. Here this is one value when it released. Even if it's kind of hard for the network, but it's cool if you kind of can slide and change the color. Okay, and now we need MQTT output, and just paste this value then into this output. And here we need, as the topic, the one we just copied, we want to deploy. We have some debugging on the other flow, but this is kind of fine. So let's now see how the UI is looking. So we take this here and add UI here in the end. And down here you see is the LED color, and somewhere we can click and see this now. Okay, I actually don't know where the pick value is here, so we probably have to put that somewhere else that we see where the color picking actually was. Let's fix that. Maybe we also switch on the hue slider and we switch on the picker. And maybe we should also show the value field. Let's deploy that, and now it should be a bit more visible. Yeah, now we kind of see that here. And now if we zoom around and see the light at the same time, so we can actually now change the color, which is hard to see. So maybe I should kind of make it quite dark so that we can actually see something here on the, this is hard to see on the video. See, basically now it's purple because we're here on the side. But this is a lot of fun to actually try out on your phone to switch the color of the LED. That's it. That's how we use, in a very simple way, the single RGB LED. That's, I think, a nice exercise to repeat, especially with Node-RED, and then doing it on your phone and swiping around. I hope you did enjoy this. Come back for more IoTempower devices to control. See you soon. Stay tuned. Ciao.